So let's talk a little bit about coffee vocabulary, just so you've got a real sense of some of the things that would be powerful to say to a potential enthusiast, as well as, of course, broadening your own understanding of coffee vocabulary anyway. So the term coffee itself is derived from the Arabic word qawa, or Qahwah, so qawa, which designates a beverage produced from roasted beans. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, to be honest. In fact, let's double check together. So I'm going to whack open another page on Google, and I'm going to Google pronunciation, and let's just have a quick listen of how it sounds, and we can go from there.
قهوة قهوة
Qahwa, qahwa. Yep, I actually wasn't far off as I suspected, but yeah, it's difficult to pronounce. So that is where coffee comes from. The Arabic word qahwa or qawa is what I tend to say. The term espresso actually comes from the Italian word espresso or espresso, which means pressed out. So that is really literally coffee beans that are ground finely and then infused with a small amount of hot water to prepare the espresso. And that's typically what happens with an espresso machine process. So that's where it comes from. We've, of course, discussed the word latte, coffee with espresso, steamed milk, and that's something we've covered previously. And then if we talk about a mocha, so that's a coffee that includes a chocolate flavor in the form of chocolate syrup or cocoa powder, and it refers to actually the port of Mocha in Yemen. It was a major coffee exporter in the 19th century. So mocha refers to a port in Yemen, which is always quite cool to let people know. Another slang term for coffee, jitter juice. So I quite like that. It's more of an Americanism, but it's used to describe the jittery feeling that some people get, of course, after consuming too much caffeine. So jitter juice. And then Java is another slang term for coffee, and that's believed to have originated from Java in Indonesia, which basically was a major producer of coffee back in the 19th century. You've heard of Joe, a cup of Joe. It's another slang term for coffee, and that's believed to have originated from the phrase, of course, cup of Joe, which referred to American soldiers during World War II, when referring to a cup of coffee, get a cup of Joe. And then brew is a term that refers to the process of making coffee by brewing grounds in hot water. So can I have a brew, which is making coffee by brewing grounds in hot water. And then coffee itself is made from the roasted and ground beans of the actual coffee plant, and the term beans refers to the ground coffee used to make a cup of coffee. Although I'd say that beans are interchangeable, it doesn't need to be ground. So that's thinking about it actually. As I look at the list that I prepared, I would not say that that's entirely always the case. But there you have it. There's some cool terms to keep in mind when dropping coffee vocabulary.